All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of 12th Man Up. I know you guys have been desperately waiting for another video to come out, so you're welcome. I'm back. I missed out on talking about the draft right when it happened, but we're going to get into those players today. I was really happy with how Pete and John drafted this year. I was surprised they didn't go with a lot of kind of undervalued players, I guess, and try to outsmart everyone. They actually did pretty good, and even Doug Baldwin said so himself on Twitter. Instead of just drafting a quarterback like I hoped they wouldn't, I was hoping they weren't going to get Malik Willis. They actually got key pieces to build around the quarterback position, which is what we needed to do. So we're going to go into a couple of those players, and then we're going to go into how this will affect our team short term and possibly long term. So, question of the day is, does this draft play a significant impact on this team going into next season? I know you guys are all just dying to comment, so please feel free. Now, our first player that we picked up was Charles Cross. We got him in the first round. He was the 9th pick, and he is just a really good left tackle from Mississippi State. No one could get by him. He's just such a big, strong force, and I think we really need this for the blind spot position. We had Dwayne Brown there for years, obviously, and last season you really got to see him struggle a little bit, and I think this is good to protect that blind spot for Geno Smith and Drew Lock, because we don't have Russell Wilson anymore. We don't have a quarterback that can scramble really well, so we need to protect that quarterback position. I think this was a good first pick for that. Our second pick was Boye Mafe. This was a great pick as well. I like this one. We got an edge rusher, and this is something that we really need to do. We need to apply more pressure on the quarterback. Something that we did really good with last season was stopping the run, unless it was Derrick Henry. We did good stopping the run generally. A lot of teams had a hard time getting more than just a couple yards against us, but when it came to throwing the ball, the quarterback had all day. We weren't able to apply enough pressure onto that quarterback, and even if our cornerbacks were playing really good, the quarterback would have enough time to throw in the ball. So we needed a solid edge rusher, and we lost Carlos Dunlap, so we got Boye Mafe, who I think will be used very well. We also got an edge rusher from the Chargers. I don't want to mess up this name, but it's Uchenna Nwasu. We'll have to see how he does. A lot of these players, they're fighting for these positions, the starting positions. Even these players earlier in the draft, like Cross and a couple other guys I'm about to talk about, we don't know where they're going to start out at. Maybe they're going to be starting in game one, and maybe they won't start till next season. But it's good to develop some draft picks in these key positions before we get, I believe, a playoff contending quarterback. So the pick right after Mafe, we got Ken Walker III. I was surprised by this pick. He's a running back. He's kind of built like Rashad Penny, and I thought we already did this. And Penny has been injured a lot, so why are we getting another running back just like him? But if you look at the tail end of last season, Penny did really, really good. And as long as he can avoid getting injured, we can have two solid running backs that can keep their energy going if they're able to switch on and off on the field. Chris Carson, we don't know when he's going to come back. Pete Carroll said he doesn't have a date yet. Hopefully he can heal up. I don't know. I believe it's a neck injury that's been bothering him. So both of our running backs are very injury prone, and getting Ken Walker, I think, is a good, safety blanket for us. Abraham Lucas, who we got in the third round, is another tackle, and this is going to be good for the right tackle position. It's good to pick up more offensive linemen. I'm sure Russell Wilson is a little bit jealous that Pete and John didn't pick up these positions when he was there, but I guess better late than never at this point. So Abraham Lucas will be really good. Like I said, I don't know if he's going to be starting right away. He could still compete a little bit. I want to see who's there right now. Give me 1 second. So I think Curhan we have in the right tackle position right now. So I guess they'll both be competing for that spot. And I would love to see Lucas and Cross both battle for those starting positions. So we'll see how that goes. We got Lewis at left guard. We got Jackson at right guard. And then obviously that center position's being battled over a little bit as well. So we'll see how that goes. And then to close off, I'm going to talk about one more player, which is Kobe Bryant. We got him in the 4th round. He is a competitive cornerback, and I'm excited about this pick. We had, I believe, a couple good plays in the quarterback position, but overall we really struggled. We got injured players, so getting a cornerback is something that we really need to support Diggs and Adams, especially if Adams is just going to be blitzing all the time. We'll see. But Diggs is a really good safety, and I think getting someone to help him out will be really good. So with these players, I'm just happy we weren't trying to outsmart other teams and get some undervalued, no-name players. We got reliable players to build around the quarterback position and to kind of help rebuild the culture outside of that quarterback spot. I would like to say that in about 3 years, we could be a playoff contending team. I could be wrong, but I think if we're able to develop a new culture in Seattle, new leadership, and hopefully get another quarterback, if Geno and Drew don't prove themselves, that we could still be that dangerous Seahawks team to compete in the playoffs and to make teams scared to travel to Seattle. But until then, we're still developing. I really don't know if there's a lot of strengths outside of the quarterback position that we had last year that's going to be able to carry this team going into next season. It was funny because I remember last season when Seattle was playing and they're still being talked about with Russell Wilson. I used to watch Colin Cowherd all the time, but he had said a lot last year that if you were to take Russell Wilson out of the picture in Seattle, just take him out. And he was. He was injured. Where did Seattle thrive at? Where were they really good at? What position? They struggled all around. They weren't dominant. There was no Legion of Boom. They relied solely on Russell Wilson. And, DK and Tyler, they're solid receivers, but without Wilson, they're not going to be those star players that are going to carry this team. And the running backs, it wasn't until the tail end of the season Rashad Penny did good. And can we really rely on him to do that again for us next season? We'll see. Now, Carroll believes his philosophy will work, and he's made it clear that he's not trying to rebuild. He said in a press conference that, look, we're not trying to rebuild. We're trying to continue that playoff contending team. And as much as I appreciate that as a fan, I really think I believe this provides extra pressure on him to be one of those top teams, but it's just not. I don't see it working out really well. I'm really focused on developing strong pieces outside the quarterback position so that we can be effective going into maybe the following season that will scare other teams. If you look back to when we went to Super Bowl 48, and I'm just going to kind of bring us back to when we were really good, outside of the quarterback position, we were strong. We were strong with that Legion of Boom. That's what scared other teams, was that defense. No one wanted to play against us. If you look back to that actual game in the Super Bowl, from the first play to the last play, our defense was dominant. Russell Wilson wasn't the carrying force that won the Super Bowl for the team. It was a Legion of Boom. I don't expect another Legion of Boom to come in and to fully dominate the NFL. It's hard to get a defense like that. What I am just looking for is just strengths outside of the quarterback position, like I said. So these are some things I'm hoping for to kind of go back to the question of the day is, do I believe this team has what it takes to, with these new draft players, be significant going into next season? And I don't think so. I don't think next season. I think you could say possibly long-term in the next coming seasons, 2 or 3 years, that maybe we could be a stronghold. These are just pieces of the puzzle that we got in this most recent draft. And hopefully these players are able to compete for those starting positions and we can be an effective team that will still scare others from coming to Seattle. We struggled playing at home. So I'm really interested to see how well this team will perform without Russell Wilson. I think it's interesting that we will be playing against Russell Wilson week 1 at Seattle. That'll be interesting. And look, if Pete Carroll and John Snyder have a really rough season, that's going to look bad on them. So I know they're both still fighting for their jobs, and they're both going to be doing the best they can to rebuild this culture. If there's one thing I can compliment Pete Carroll on, is he's really good at building cultures that has a great environment. So there is things to be optimistic about as a Seahawks fan. So other than that, feel free to comment below what you guys think. What does this team look like going into next season? Do you guys have hope that they will be a strong, effective team next year or maybe in the next coming years? Also, please feel free to comment what you guys think I should do for videos. I know Seattle is still kind of behind the scenes talking to Baker Mayfield. I can make a video talking about that a little bit. Other than that, I want to thank you guys all for taking your time and watching this, and have a good one.